Let's speak about Virgin Galactic, baby! What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and today we are speaking about Virgin Galactic, our favourite space play on this channel, but just really how insane the last week or so has been. So yesterday we went on a 16.8% run, pre-market today we're up about 8%, the 5-day chart, I mean, we made highs of up nearly 40%, on the monthly chart we're up over 75%, Virgin Galactic well and truly has been going parabolic as of late. It has been absolutely immense, my friends. Today I want to give my thoughts on why that may be. So in order to do so, there is this very good article from Seek and Alpha that I want to go through, okay? Will Virgin Galactic go hypersonic? Okay, there's a few things, we won't go through the whole thing, but there's a few things in here I really do want to speak about. We want to go on to Virgin Galactic's Twitter and have a look at their mothership, VMS Eve, having 2 successful test flights. And what I also want to do is take a look at the short volume ratio that we've seen in Virgin Galactic, because I think we have seen a quite clear example of a short squeeze happen over the last month or so, even in particular. I also want to have a look at the stock chart towards the end of the video, because there's been some pretty interesting price action, and I'll try to give you guys my thoughts on what could happen next. But my friends, I've been in Virgin Galactic. I was initially buying just below $15 a share, and that's where I bought most of my shares, between $15 and $17. I was getting in back here somewhere, and I remember going on this really nice run up, and this was one of the first companies I actually did invest in. So I remember I was up about 80, maybe 85% in the company. And that was my best performing company at the time. And I was very happy, I was very excited. But then they came crashing all the way back down, and I was pretty much at break even again. And so this was a really weird experience for me as a new investor. I just saw, I was able to make so much money really quickly, but then I just lost it all straight away. Now, thankfully, I never sold a single share in this company, and I took this opportunity to buy more shares. And now, including the after hours price action, we're up over 150% in our position, which is obviously awesome. But this is a company that I'm always going to really like, because it taught me some lessons early on in my investing career. And it taught me that, just because a company comes down in value doesn't necessarily mean that you should sell. And that's a very, very important one to learn. But anyway, my friends, right before we do get into the video, could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? Drop me a comment down below. When did you initially buy Virgin Galactic, and how many shares do you own? And please, my friend, if you aren't even new around here, hit that juicy red subscribe button and join the family of investors. We're trying to get to 100,000, baby. Also, if you are interested in joining my private Discord group, that's the first link in the description, my friends. In there you get access to all of my buy and sell alerts. You join a community of over 2,300 investors. My portfolio was up 9.5% yesterday. We've been on fire in January. It's a juicy community, and if you want 4 free stocks on Webull, that's the second link in the description, my friends. You have to sign up, deposit $100. 2 of those stocks can be worth $3,700 each. So let's just start it off on Twitter, okay? Because obviously when we see a stock go up this much this quickly, I mean, on that monthly chart, literally 75%, it's absolute insanity. And so in general, you would expect to see some very, very positive news. The first thing I want to say is that the market's very, very bullish right now, and a lot of growth stocks and penny stocks in particular are going up very, very quickly. They are most certainly outperforming, the S&P, the Nasdaq, the Dow, by a long shot. Now, not everything is going up, and not every growth stock is performing really well, but a lot of them are. So that's the first thing to just keep in mind. I think we're seeing a lot of heavily inflated prices in the market over the last 2 weeks in particular. So the biggest news we've had come out, the 2 biggest catalysts are right here. Our mothership, VMS Eve, will be conducting a flight from Spaceport America, New Mexico today. This was back on January 21st. And another tomorrow. And long story short, both of these went successful. They both landed back down safely. So they had 2 successful test flights back to back. Now, these weren't full-on test flights. They didn't go all the way up into space, but still, this is positive news nonetheless, okay? But this truly is not enough news to cause a move up to the extent of 26.39%. If this news came out off the back of a huge drop in the stock's price, maybe it would have warranted a relatively large move to the upside. But the fact of the matter is, there was no dip. I mean, they were up. We had this little dip from 33 down to 30.43, but they went straight back to green days. And that's another thing to notice about these guys. I mean, since the 11th of January, there has only been 1 red day. The rest have all been green. And on the monthly chart, you'll see our red days have been very small, but a lot of our green days have been very large. So the first thing I want to say is that straight off the bat, I think Virgin Galactic moved up too quickly, okay? And look, this is coming from the perspective of a bull. Somebody who is invested in the company and obviously wants them to do really well, because it means I'm going to make money, and is somebody who believes in them. But I don't think that this price action is warranted by any means whatsoever. I just want to make that very clear from the start. Now, the next thing I would like to point out to you before we get into this article here, okay, is the short volume ratio. And look, it was up in the high 20s. Now it's all the way down at 11. There has been a short squeeze over the last couple of weeks, the last 2 to 3 weeks in particular. And that has led to this very large upward move. And I mean very large. Again, from the 11th of January, we're up nearly 70%. So a lot of people do bet against Virgin Galactic, and I understand why, because it's still a relatively high risk company at the end of the day, let's be honest. We're not bringing in money. Richard Branson hasn't gone to space yet. There's still a lot of things that have to go right before, in my opinion, this company truly deserves to be worth a whole lot more. But that's the important thing to remember. A whole lot has to go right. It's not that it has gone right yet. Now, on the other hand, I can understand why people would be willing to pay a bit of a premium this month in particular, because we have been led to believe that Richard Branson is going to space in the first quarter of this month. I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't believe that's going to happen. I believe it's going to be in the second quarter of this year as opposed to the first. And this isn't something I've just started saying. If you've been on the channel for a while, I've probably been saying this for 3 or 4 months at this stage. Now look, I could be wrong. It could happen this quarter. It might not happen next quarter. At the end of the day, Virgin Galactic has a history of pushing these things back. We don't know. So there could be a little bit of FOMO kicking in right now. People expecting the announcement to happen this quarter, and if it doesn't, you can expect the opposite of FOMO. You can expect people getting out. So just do be aware of that. We all know that in general, when things go up really quickly, they come down quite quickly as well. Now this article right here does outline a few more points that need to be taken into consideration when it comes to, you know, looking into Virgin Galactic. And the title is, Will Virgin Galactic Go Hypersonic? So these guys went public via a SPAC. I'm sure a lot of people know that, but there may be some of you guys who don't. Major shareholders include the founder, Sir Richard Branson, and Chamath. We all know Chamath Palihapitiya. Pretty much one of the best investors in the entire world right now. And he actually was the SPAC sponsor that de-SPACed Virgin Galactic. These are 2 of planet Earth's greatest promoters, okay? Now they could well both sell some more shares, but they're more than likely going to keep substantial stakes. And we have seen that from both of these men. They have sold some shares in the company to fund other ventures. And that's fine. You don't need to look into that too much, in my personal opinion, my friends. They still have very large stakes in the company. It does show that they still have a whole lot of belief in this company. But I mean, you have these 2 people as major shareholders. Fills me with confidence right off the bat. Now, who's about to start buying? Cathie Wood. Now, she does already actually own Virgin Galactic stock. I believe it's in the ARC-Q. I could be wrong. But we also know that they are going to be opening up their ARC-X, the ARC Space ETF. And I think a lot of people, myself included, expect Virgin Galactic to be, you know, one of their biggest holdings due to the fact, 1, they already own them, 2, they fall in line what Cathie Wood loves, disruptive innovation. And they are very, very close to, you know, bringing to fruition what they've been speaking about for so long. So we could be looking at having Cathie Wood, Chamath Palihapitiya, and Richard Branson all in this one company. A lot of really big names. Now, one thing that's tough about Virgin Galactic, okay, is there is no fundamental intrinsic value underpinning the share price. Also, this could blow up, and not in a good way. And that's always been one of my bigger concerns with Virgin Galactic. If things are to continue getting prolonged, it's only going to get riskier and riskier. But the other thing is, there has never been any fundamental intrinsic value underpinning the share price. We've always been investing in their potential. We've always been investing in Richard Branson, in Chamath, in the Cathie Wood potentially, in every big shareholder, and in what we believe Virgin Galactic is going to do going forwards. And we have seen several times that Richard Branson has made several very, very successful businesses. So I know this is something that puts a lot of people off SPCE, off Virgin Galactic, because there's no intrinsic value. But that can be a part of growth stock investing, my friends. This isn't the kind of company you want your whole net worth tied up in my opinion. Richard Branson says, "We are at the dawn of a golden age of space exploration, which will transform our relationship with the Earth and the cosmos." And I believe that's exactly why Cathie Wood is now opening up the ARC-X. And I think a lot, and I mean truly a lot of huge institutional investors, hedge funds, etc. are going to follow suit. And not only start investing more in Virgin Galactic, but in a lot of these space companies. One bear has said that Virgin Galactic management has misled everyone about their timeline for achieving commercial launch for over a decade. And I mean, yeah, that's one of the big things I always bring up on this channel, is they have a history of pushing things back. But the author here says that isn't a bear thesis, that's a bull thesis. If Richard Branson has kept everyone confidence going for 15 years, he's probably good for a few more. And if people are willing to hold on to their shares and buy their shares now at current prices, I mean, yeah. So we see a short squeeze pretty much in process. We also see this happening a lot in the market as of late, and that is leading to inflated prices. I'm just going to come out and say that I do have zero interest in adding to my position in Virgin Galactic at $42 a share personally. I just think it carries far too much risk. I've also seen the volatility that this company can carry. I've seen 80-90% moves followed by 40-50% drops. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen because a lot has changed since those moves, but I do think we could well see a 20-30% drop in the span of the next week or two. Again, not a guarantee by any means. Best case scenario for me, it doesn't happen. I just want my portfolio to go up, obviously, but it is a very real possibility that you should all be aware of. In regards to actual price targets, I think it's quite difficult. There was some really unhealthy price action down at these levels here, right around $28 to $29 a share. It looks like there's a gap, but it is pretty much filled in. I wouldn't consider this a gap in all honesty, but the gap below this price and back above it, and there wasn't much consolidation above it. There was below it, but not above it. It's quite odd. I don't think we have to come back down to these levels, but if we do, I still wouldn't be surprised. Keep in mind just how quick we have gone up in value, my friends. If you are looking for an entry point and you are really stuck and you don't want to miss out, I mean, you can see we've kind of made these higher highs as times have gone on. We've made these higher lows. I would more than likely look towards at least 33 to 34 as a very real possibility, which still represents, what, a 20% downside? But then I do think if we break down anywhere, you know, near the 30 mark, that may be a decent place to start the position. But again, it still will carry considerable downside. That's the thing about growth stocks, is in order for them to truly be growth stocks, you have to get in relatively early. You have to take the risk relatively early on. And that's what an awful lot of us did when we were buying back here in the 14 and 15s for a long time, when there was nowhere near as much confidence. And you know, again, when we saw a huge drop off, a lot of us ended up buying more, so now it's paying off. That's the thing about growth stocks, my friends. But anyway, guys, that was just my thoughts on everything that's going on with Virgin Galactic. I wanted to let you guys know if I think it's a buy or not, and also some prices to be looking towards. I don't intend on selling any of my shares. I plan on holding these guys for years and years. I do ultimately think that in 3, 4, 5 years we'll look back at $42 a share as very cheap, but in the short term I still think you should try and get good entry points. But anyway, my friends, if you watched this video all the way to the end, you are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. If you did enjoy today's video, could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button, drop me a comment down below, and please, my friends, subscribe if you're new around here. If you are interested in joining that private Discord group, that is the first link in the description. Access to all of my buy and sell alerts, juicy community of over 2,300 investors. It's awesome. And if you want those free stocks on Webull, that's the second link, my friends. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. I'll see you in another video very soon. Peace.